So for women who do want men's approval, right? Who are attracted to men, who want to be with men, this can lead so easily to people-pleasing tendencies. And the idea that you don't get to have your own desires, that you need to do what they want, you need to pacify them or do what they demand you do. And so you desert your own desires or you never even get to know what they are. And I think a lot of women turn around after long term heterosexual marriages and they see that they've been doing that for decades. Mona Elthaway is a writer that I follow, and she wrote about desire and desirability this past year, and I thought this was so brilliant. She says, for those of us assigned female at birth, we are rewarded with desirability and we are punished for desire. That is why it's essential to distinguish between the two. Power lies with she who desires. And it is when we enter menopause, when patriarchy deems us invisible and therefore undesirable, that our desire takes center stage and is no longer punished with consequence such as pregnancy. When we think of desire and desirability within those parameters, we can render moot the invisibility that patriarchy threatens us with and claim instead a power that it always tried to deny us. Woo! Right? Isn't that so hot? That is so good. I mean, it nails it. It nails it, right? It nails it. So we are taught to outsource desire, right? If you grew up, especially if you grew up, so I'm kind of talking more to like the millennials here, if there are millennials that are listening. If you grew up in purity culture, but also for all of us, if you grew up in a religious household of any sort, right? Or under any kind of authoritarian control, you were taught to override your own knowing. You were told that your desires didn't matter, that it was God's desire, your religion's rules, your parents' demands that were what counted. Your inner knowing was outsourced, which Hillary McBride has written about. So you were told to what to do with your body, how your sexuality should function, and who it was for. And usually that was a future husband. Certainly it was not for you. And so that primes women in particular, or anyone socialized as female, to be sexually subservient in marriage. And that's what a lot of people end up getting. And so this dynamic extends beyond strict households, right? If you grew up with high parental expectations, I did, anyone else? Maybe to be a doctor or a lawyer or a perfect parent or to like do things the right way, whatever that was. You were not taught to look inside of yourself to find out what you really wanted. You were taught that you were living up to, you were here to live up to other people's implicit or explicit blueprints for you, right? Who to marry, by when, how many children to have, what kind of sex you should be available for, all of it. And that's a lot of pressure. Doesn't leave a lot of room for your own sexual truth. And so I think this is why so many women don't know what they want sexually, because if you never learn to lean into your own desires, then you're likely going to follow the desires of your partners. And since men's sexuality is culturally centered, may we change that, but it still is, right? Then many women who are partnering with men don't know how to trust themselves in sex. They're following the sexuality of men. And so women learn to want what their male partners want. And then they wonder why they don't enjoy sex, right? How could you fully enjoy something intimate that was never designed for you, right? If you had conscientious partners, which hopefully many of us have, I definitely have had some conscientious male partners, maybe you've had good experiences and, you know, but if you've just had partners that were enjoying their entitlement and privilege, their sexual privilege, without ever asking you what you want, you may never have had sex that was actually designed for you. So anyone would prefer to watch a show or, you know, I don't know, pet their cat than like have sex if that's what it looks like. And if you experienced any kind of sexual assault or abuse, you may have learned that you need to stay safe, right? You need to please a partner and not rock the boat. You explicitly learned from that experience, that what you want does not matter, that it will be overridden. And that makes it nearly impossible to connect to your own desire map.